Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. Today, we are looking at the 2010 Big House Red Wine. I picked this up about a week and a half ago. You can get it in pretty much any grocery store. I got it at Trader Joe's for I think like $7. But this is a big label right here, the Big House, and it's been sitting, in my kitchen in a little wine rack over there for about a week. And then earlier this week, I had gone down to Bonnie Doon Vineyards, down to their tasting room in Santa Cruz, and I was drinking a lot of that stuff, and I that was my last post, and I got a lot of good feedback from you guys. And then I was just starting to do some research on the Big House before I was going to review it for you. And sure enough, what did I find out? That Big House used to be owned by Bonnie Doon. They sold it in 2006 to the Wine Group, which is the second largest wine retailer wine distributor in the United States. They're just behind a little company called E&J Gallo. So I mean, it went from kind of Bonnie Doon, when they were selling it, they were doing like 200,000 cases a year. So I mean, Bonnie Doon was at one time, doing some big time winery stuff. They've kind of scaled back, and they're doing more of the boutique stuff. And this was their, their table wine, the Big House. And there's tons of red grapes in this, and once the Wine Group got this, they continued to do the same style, where they were just throwing in a whole bunch of grapes that they weren't really fitting into any other wines. I apologize. This is the 2010, and I'm looking down at this wrap sheet for the 2009. But I mean, as far as the grapes that were listed, Petit Syrah, Syrah, Montepulciano, Barbera, Nero d'Avola, Tempranillo, Malbec, Aglianico, Salzeo. Never had that before. Charbonneau, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, Tannat, and then other esoteric reds going inside as well. So I mean, this is a big wine in the sense of how many different varietals are being thrown into this, and I'm kind of excited to dive into it and see whether or not this is a deal or a ripoff at $7. We will find out very soon. Screw top, you gotta like that. Apparently Big House was the first label to have all of their stuff in screw tops, and you gotta imagine that's an influence from Bonnie Doon, because you go there, all their stuff's on screw tops too. So let's take a peek here. Color-wise, it's a nice dark red, not quite purple, but there are actually, there are a couple like purple tones around the rim here. Give it a little sniff. On the nose, like some nice black fruit and red fruit. I am getting a little plum, getting a little blackberry, a little raspberry. There is a little bit of rubber, like a little bike tire there. Smells pretty nice, right? The smell is good for $7. Let's see how it tastes. Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, if there's chalky tannins, I'm going to be into it, right? It's definitely got it. These chalky, powdery, fine tannins right from the get-go, and they're still sticking around, and there is, as I'm talking to you about it, maybe you can see, like, my mouth is kind of watering. There is this really long, for $7, long acid on the finish here. As far as the fruits, a lot of the same stuff that I was getting on the nose, plums, blackberries up front. Let me see what else is in here. Like, it threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, to be honest. So let's jump back in. Let me try some more. Plum, blackberry, little cranberry, those tannins are great, and that acidity is great. And this is definitely, let's call it a steal. I mean, they should lock you up in the big house for selling wine this nice for this kind of price. You know, as far as you know, foods that I would pair this with, this is a pizza one, this is a burger one. You know, you've got all these different grapes going into it, and sure enough, the one grape that I don't see listed that this really reminds me of is it's almost like a fruit balmy type of Zinfandel. So, you know, pair it with the same things that you would do your favorite big boy Zinfandel with. And I gotta say, you know, that Petite Sirah, and again, this is the, I'm looking at an older listing, but I'm certain it's pretty similar. You know, they were doing 27% Petite Sirah in the last vintage. You'd imagine it's around the same, and you do get a lot of those, like, kind of dark notes, you know, so think Zinfandel, think Petite Sirah, and think, you know, nice, meaty foods and Italian fare. I mean, this is nice. Wow. I'm really kind of happy with this. I'm happy in general. You know, I'm filming this on Saturday. This is the tail end weekend of my spring break, and I know I haven't posted a whole lot this week, but I have been tasting quite a bit of wine, and I got tons of pictures to show you guys, and it's now just about finding the time to sit down and type that stuff up. So there is going to be a lot of stuff coming out in the next week or so. I gotta ask you guys the question: when's the last time you were really surprised by how good a wine could be? Let me know. Leave a comment below. As far as, you know, scoring for this is a solid. You know, it's borderline fantastic. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna give it, well, no, you know what? Let's call it what it is. I was going to say 89 plus, but the reality is this is, in my book, a 90-pointer. I think a lot of you are going to like this. I mean, this is a crowd pleaser. This is not a subtle type of wine, but you know, the dimensions that it is bringing, it's really blowing me away. And maybe the $7 price point had something to do with it, but I'm really stoked on this, and I think you guys are going to be too. Everybody, stay rad.